What's going on, you guys? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video. Now, today's Division 2 video has been long awaited. I know everyone is exhausted and tired of World Tier 4. I know I am. So, on a normal map, as you can see, you have control points, you have activities, and what have you. There are no missions open, no strongholds open, just activities and bounties. However, on April 5th, mark your calendars, in just 9 days, next Friday, the Tidal Basin will finally be released. This will introduce World Tier 5 after completing Tidal Basin, just like all the other strongholds in the game. And then finally, you will be able to see the actual in-game. There will be new mission difficulties that will go up to heroic. The invaded missions will come back. So randomly, you will have invaded missions pop back up. Randomly, you will have, these strongholds over here. They will pop back up, but they will be invaded. Maybe you'll have some of these missions like bank headquarters or DCD headquarters come back as heroic and invaded. There are a lot of things, Capitol building, and all of that jazz. So April 5th, ladies and gentlemen, will be Tidal Basin and the introduction to World Tier 5. So next Friday, be ready, because right after that maintenance update, you will be able to go into Tidal Basin and unlock the rest of the in-game for the Division 2. Now, I'm trying to push this out to you guys as fast as possible. Go ahead and get the word out there. Everyone get ready. We're going to do videos on how to prepare, how to get your materials up, how to get your credits up, how to get your projects and your blueprints done, and be fully prepared for Tidal Basin and World Tier 5. Now, I know I skipped the introduction and everything, but we're just going ahead and trying to make this a quick, short, and sweet video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of open world, and we are going to listen to the developers themselves from today's State of the Game that just happened not only 20 minutes ago. So don't take my word for it. Let's go ahead and listen to the developers, and I hope you guys have a good one. If you enjoy this, mash that like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Yannick, please take over. Okay. So, spoiler thing, so we were supposed to do the big announcements, but then it kind of went out of
World
control.
first announcement.
World first somewhere by whichever team at Ubisoft that pressed the button a bit too early. But let's talk about Tidal Basin.
What's the most interesting thing to know about Tidal Basin?
Well, I mean, first, I guess we're going to repeat what's been spoiled already and try not to...
I'm good now.
Should we call an ambulance?
I'm
good?
totally fine. That's the most annoying thing in the world, but I'm good.
Can't wait for that article, community guy dies live on stream.
Dude. Imagine our numbers.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yes, imagine.
That wouldn't be cool.
We will be releasing the Tidal Basin update on April 5th at our usual time, presumably. Like during the day. Yeah.
Is it coming after maintenance?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a maintenance and then some other
Okay.
usual.
We haven't communicated those times because it's different from our regular maintenance. It's a Tuesday.
It's a Friday.
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 Why did I think
It's
Tuesday?
a Friday.
Yeah, April 5th is not a Tuesday.
I'm thinking Division 1. Sorry.
sure are.
We sometimes did clients on a
No,
Tuesday.
so I mean, usually, and that's the thing actually, usually we would deploy updates, like big updates like that on a Tuesday, but that one is an exception and we're doing it on a Friday.
Cool.
Sorry, Australia.
Once again, we apologize to Australia.
Sorry. But we really
Why
want
would
you
you
to have it
apologize
before the
to
weekend.
Australia?
Because it's their Friday evening. New Zealand is in bed already at this point.
Yeah, why wouldn't you apologize to New Zealand? Fine. All right. No, but that's pretty soon. That's next week, right?
That's next week.
Unfortunately, I'm away. But
Too bad.
that's awesome. What can you tell us? Well, because it's not just
it's
Tidal
not
Basin.
just a mission.
No.
So,
But that's how we name the update, so that's why we constantly say Tidal
Alright.
Basin. But
Take it from the top.
I mean, we were always we had the joke of calling it the title update, since title update anyway. Industry insider joke. So when you come back in from the update, if you're in World Tier 4, you will see a new mission in which plot happens, and this new mission will say, oh, here is your reason and excuse for being able to finally go and strike Tidal Basin.
Stronghold, right?
Which is a stronghold,
Okay.
which, as per the rhythm of the rest of Endgame, is that means that once you've defeated that Tidal Basin mission, you will be promoted to World Tier 5. And now the gear score bracket is between 450 and 500, and sort of a small slew of new build opportunities become available to you because you are going to, when you defeat the boss there, encounter your first set of gear set items. There are 3 gear sets coming out with the Tidal Basin update. Some people have already seen information about True Patriot.
Yeah.
There's another one called Ongoing Directive, and another one called Hardwired. And
Cool.
they're all a blast and have very long description text because we're crazy people.
for all you Excel spreadsheet fans.
Yes.
Here's
welcome to
yet
that
another
one,
layer.
Yeah, welcome to that one cell that is just real big in that spreadsheet. And they're all a blast. You acquire them by they can drop from Black Tusk enemies. They will drop from invaded missions because when even more plot happens inside of World Tier 5, suddenly invasions can happen again, and another stronghold can become invaded along with other missions, and those missions can include missions that are not part of the current in-game campaign.
Cool.
So you can be like, oh, and I don't know this will be true for the first week, but like Jefferson Plaza, for example, or the Lincoln Memorial. All of those ones can become invaded, and just genuinely, some of them contain the nastiest boss fights that we could think of. It's a delight.
Awesome.
And invaded missions will have selectable difficulty in World Tier 5, including a new difficulty that you've never seen before called Heroic, which is just...
That's kind of in line, you mentioned before, with the control points at the 4th reinforcement.
Yeah, so at the 4th tier of a control point, they are currently running a Heroic difficulty. If any of you have gotten to the center of the week's priority target network, you've also encountered Heroic difficulty before. But now, imagine if you basically didn't have checkpoints anymore inside of missions.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I guess the first thing that players are like, well, do I have to do them?
No. So they do. They're very good with their rewards. They're extremely generous missions. But we didn't lock anything behind Heroic difficulty that you couldn't get in the rest of the game because we recognized, hey, Heroic is a very hardcore mode.
Yeah.
And like the description I sent to our balance testers was, it is an act of cruelty. And I mean it.
I like it.
Particularly when you get to the strongholds.
He
They're
says
just
with a
mean.
smile.
Hey, like...
But I think that with the context of not everyone needs to complete it because you're not locking any gear behind it.
We're not locking any special gear behind it. You're still getting more and better drops.
Yeah.
Since you are fighting Black Tusk at this point, you will
Yeah.
be getting more gear set pieces. And they can be, I believe, they trend towards the higher end of your gear score possibilities. So, I mean, they are better, but they're not unachievable. So it's more of, hey, this is a challenge for you. Essentially, we've thrown the glove down. Beat this.
Yeah. I like that.
And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see the crazy builds that people make because those gear sets are so strange.
Yeah.
True Patriot is just the naughtiest, craziest thing.
But I think it's good because we're starting to see already, people developing a lot of builds already. There's already some recommendations on which ones are efficient depending on which situation for PvE, PvP, and all these kind of things. So I think it's going to be interesting to add that layer on our gear sets and see what people make of it and how that's going to influence the rest.
I definitely think that. On that, one of the interesting things that we've seen over the past, it's only been 2 weeks, is that there's such a human element to the way that the meta unfolds.
Yeah.
Like, it's very easy to be like, this thing is, the thing right now, and then until someone figures out some other things. And I'm not saying that that's always the case, but I just love how that people figure out how to play the game in different ways. That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's been wild because, like, I've been playing Endgame a ton since, before release because I needed to test stuff with my features. And I was like, this is my favorite talent. This is the talent I like the most. This is the one I'm going to use all the time. It's going to be my thing. And then, like, I watch a video on YouTube because you guys are real good at finding things. And I just go like, oh, that's way better than my plan.
That's interesting.
Better than me.
You guys are smart.
Smarties.
Just because I know there's going to be a lot of questions about this.
Yes.
Because once you hit World Tier 5,
Yep.
the invaded stuff starts happening. On what kind of cadence? Is it a weekly reset?
Yes, so the invaded missions the new invasions are on a weekly reset, but if you're in World Tier 5 and there's an invasion going on, you can freely toggle any mission between its invaded and non-invaded state that is invaded.
Each with their
That
own
is invaded.
difficulty levels.
Yes.
So you have invaded and non-invaded.
Yes.
Each of them have selectable difficulties of
Yes.
their own.
So you've got invaded normal, invaded hard, invaded challenge, invaded heroic, and you've got normal, hey. Normal, hard, hey, and normal challenge.
Okay.
So you
So regular.
Good luck taking
yeah,
notes on
regular,
that.
regular, standard.
Yeah.
Actually, I think standard is what I use in documentation because
And normal.
normal is dumb. Although honestly, when you're lots of code in the game will probably say normal, and you're just like
Final.
great
final.
V2
I was like, this
copy.
sounds like dev labeling.
Yeah.
Normal.
But okay, so they that's just what I wanted to clear up. They have selectable modes and then
Yes.
selectable difficulties within each of those
Yeah.
modes.
And the first time you complete an invaded mission in that week, in that invasion, you're given a little bonus rewards for completing that.
Nice.
And of course, we've thrown a particularly large amount on Tidal Basin itself, since you'll only be able to get that one-time reward once per week. And so it's like, oh, here, complete this invasion. Congrats. Yeah.
Without spoilers,
Yes.
what can you tell me about Tidal Basin?
So Tidal Basin is like unique in.
Very
Without spoilers.
careful.
Yeah. Okay. So you've seen it from the outside.
That's true.
It is a military base. Like normally we have the constraint and also the freedom because like, man, NASA Center is cool. To be like, oh, here is a real world place or a real world device or operation that is like, this is a thing that's in DC. Instead, this is us going, what would a high-tech faction of military contractors who have to build this base, like, what would they do to make it defensible? What is inside of here that is a unique defense that only Black Tusk has? What can we do to make it be believably, this is future tech, but not very far future tech. But it's also approximately shade tech. It's getting there. And so it is, like, I described it as, like, the first time that I walked into a final art, I was like, oh, so we're doing Shadow Moses. Oh, okay. All right. And it's really different. And I really enjoy it, particularly when you get to the final beats of that mission, and you just go, oh, we did it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because the final location that you get to in there is just so different from anything else we've done.
You're so good at not giving away spoilers. I really
like-
appreciated that.
I've never played it actually. I'm just so excited, and just hearing you talk about it, I'm even more excited. I'm like,
I actually got a fly through from the art team the other day. It's big.
It's really large.
Yeah.
Like I don't know for certain. I think it is approximately the same size as Roosevelt Island. I think.
Okay.
But it has somewhat more verticality at parts, and so it might technically have a larger footprint. But I would need to like do math, and I don't feel like it.
No.
Math.
Wow. No, but it's really big, and I think it's I know the art team who worked on it. Here's some of the things they were saying about it. Is they're the veteran team from Massive who've done the art for this, and like you can really see, at least in my opinion, that everything they've learned over the past 6 years, making art for the Division, packing it into this stronghold. It's like so pretty.
Yeah, we have the dumbest like little thing that we don't get much of an opportunity to do because we don't normally have wide open spaces that can double up, but we do a very good like, hey, I can look ahead to where a major conflict is going to be, and I can see the foreshadowing of that. And we can do that multiple times because it's an entirely crafted space that doesn't have like there's a giant monument in the middle, and it's very good. I was just so pleased. I was constantly my first playthrough with full art. I was just like, this is a joy. I like it a lot.
yeah.
So I actually do. There was an image. It may already be online. I think. If not, we're going to show you here this
happening
this
now.
image. I got it from a team upstairs.
Yep.
Because Yannick, you'll be able to talk a little bit about this. It's can we just have a look at this one? Yes.
I was like, I don't know what you're about to show, so sure,
year one.
surprise me.
So April 5th, the Invasion Battlefield DC update.
Yes.
And then looking ahead, there's some other things
Yeah,
coming up.
there's a bunch of
We've seen
other
Pentagon
things.
before. We've seen.
I mean, we can only see half of the picture with that screen, but yeah.
The screen's perfect. Don't listen to him.
But and then specializations.
Yeah.
All of that.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about? Let's talk specifically about April 5th because there's some other things in that update that will be focused on. I know Frederick Thailand has been talking about what he wants to do with some of the weapons.
Yeah.
So the first balance pass is going to be coming in on the 5th. We'll have him on next week, actually. I won't be here, but I've convinced Ella to sit here and talk to Frederick, so it's going to be fun. What other things are going to be a focus for the team in that update?
I mean, I think there's a lot of bug fixing and a lot of things we're doing in there, a lot of things that the community has been reporting since the launch of the game that we couldn't necessarily deploy with maintenance or with the patch we will have tomorrow. So there's a lot of things that are going to be fixed as part of that update. So hopefully, there's like a lot of bugs that people have been experiencing and been frustrated with that should be addressed. As you mentioned, there's going to be some balancing that is done, and I think it was interesting for us to start with World Tier 4 and let people, play World Tier 4, start the min-maxing game in World Tier 4, experiment with some of the things, and now we, add World Tier 5. So that's the first opportunity for us to kind of do a first pass and start fresh again with a new World Tier and implement the gear set, so see how things are going to go with that, and then take it from there. So there's definitely that pass as well that we're doing, and then there's a bunch of small things coming with it as well.
What about with, I know Frederick's focusing on a lot of weapons and skill mods and wants to do some changes with weapon mods and that sort of thing. You have talked to Redstorm a little bit about, are they intending to do anything with PvP or?
So PvP, we know that this is a big conversation in the community, and we are definitely reading all of that. And the folks at Redstorm are really interested in everything and all the aspects and all the angles to look at it. So we are definitely interested in that conversation, and yes, we are definitely going to be looking at that. That's not a Tidal Basin thing. So first, we want to finish. And release Tidal Basin. I mean, it's finished by now, but release it.
Sure.
But we are not going to do a big pass with that one. That's something for later. First, we do that one, and then we'll be looking at it. But yes, we are definitely interested in the conversation. So please keep it going.
I imagine it wouldn't really make sense to balance basing on assumptions, especially with these gear sets coming in, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not a game designer, but if you balance based on where we're at right now, without taking into the context of how people actually leverage these gear sets, like you say, they're like crazy.
Yeah.
They're real special.
Yeah, and even with World Tier 5 and gear score going higher, I mean, and stats also evolving and all of that. So we already have an understanding, projecting from where we are at with World Tier 4. There are things we know are already outliers that we need to address. But then we also don't want to be, too drastic, because we need to see how people are going to be playing around with all the new gear score items and the gear sets and all of that.
Well, yeah.
Slow down. I'm only level 30. I've got to hit max level before I get into that PvP game. Well, I don't have to. I know you can play it.
Technically, you're max level.
Okay, no, but max gear score. Yeah, you know what I mean. But you know what I mean. That's when I don't know about you, but that's when I start PvPing. Once I've kind of played through everything and I've got some gear and I'll start.
Yeah, I mean, usually you want to. I mean, not everybody, but I think the standard behavior would be that you want to experiment the campaign and reach the end game, and then you start engaging with all the different activities that are available and start exploring a bit more.
Yes. Agreed.
I obsessively destroy bounties because they're my children and they have to die.
Yeah. What about this guy?
Yeah. I was like, can you please fix that?
Who's this?
I would love to fix that.
I'm going to work on my new cosplay. It's going to be this guy.
Actually,
It's gonna be that guy.
Yeah. I'm going to show
You
up
have
to
to do
E3.
weirder things to your elbows.
but it's kind of weird because it goes a bit in the back.
It's like around behind the head.
Yeah.
Like this.
They're all expert mimes except for this guy.
Yeah.
Love him.
We might have that fixed in. I don't know if it's fixed.
I really hope so, but
I hope it
not
is.
checked.
I hope it's
Shouldn't
fixed,
get it.
but I also hope maybe it happens like 1 in a million times.
You know what else is fixed actually in the Tidal Basin update?
that?
The weird stairs.
The weird stairs. Oh, with the.
Yeah, with the.
The one with there's been an article about the strange stairs.
Hi, Kotaku.
Hey, Kotaku, how's it going?
Hi.
They wrote a. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for writing that thing about what we said about animals. We should have a big philosophical discussion about it. That was fun.
I would genuinely have that, actually.
Should we start the debate again?
I mean, it's not a debate. I'm right. So. Okay.
Okay.
I do have some things. So, like we've been saying in the past few weeks, we are giving away to the lucky. Well, not lucky because it's based on.
So there you guys have it. That is what they were talking about for the April 5th update. They have not giving it a full title yet. Right now they're just calling it the Tidal Basin or the World Tier 5 update. So it will have different levels to replay strongholds. There will be different levels for invaded missions. And there will be different levels for normal missions. There will be higher gear with World Tier 5, stronger weapons, and now 3 new gear sets you're going to have to choose from. So not only are you going to have the brand sets, but now you're going to have the gear sets. You're going to have probably better chances for the exotics. I would not be surprised if a few more exotics pop up. And that would be a lot of fun, you guys. April 5th. Mark it on your calendars. Next Friday. Kamikazevondoom here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one. Peace.